It's probably for heating. Guess nobody's home. Something tells me I can't reach that. Nice. That's the brightest light I've ever seen. I mean, besides the sun. This must control the rotation of the lighthouse. I shouldn't mess with it without a good reason. It's full of a thick industrial chemical. I think it's liquid rubber. It's a serious saw for serious woodworking. This should get a locker open without causing too much obvious damage. There we go. What the hell is this thing? I've opened the middle locker. I don't see anything else in there worth taking. Classic and clean.
Just the fellow I wanted to see.
You know me?
I know everything that I need to.
Which is...
That you are a man in dire need of a barber.
You ever nick anybody with that razor over there? Looks sharp.
Indeed it is sharp. It is in fact much more dangerous if dull. And I can assure you I have never injured a client. To do so would be disastrous to my reputation. Not to mention my minor aversion to blood.
You said you have an aversion to blood. How bad is it?
Why, you're not bleeding, are you? You have to tell me if you're bleeding. It's the law.
So pretty bad then.
All things being equal, I would strongly prefer not to be in the same room as an actively bleeding individual. I will leave it at that. Do come again.
Any chance I could trouble you for a quick shave?
Certainly, sir. First one's on the house.
Gotcha! Did I spook you there? Just a little catch-up prank. Sir? What the? He can't be. You call this a minor aversion to blood? I didn't, it was just, he was in my nightmare, like the man in the car. How many other heads were mounted on that wall, besides mine? Am I next? What am I supposed to do? I can't tell the sheriff, and if I leave town, he'll have all the more reason to suspect me. I'm stuck. I have no idea why I would need this, but he definitely doesn't need it anymore. I imagine it's for employees only.
I'm afraid those aren't for sale, sir. We use them here in the salon.
Apparently he's been doing it for as long as they've been together.
You're kidding! It's so disgusting. How can she stand it?
That's what I said! Oh, I think you have a delivery, Mary.
Can I help you, sir?
Those machines are huge. They look pretty dangerous.
They do?
No, Annette. Don't listen to the uninformed gentleman. The hair dryers are indeed large, sir, but they are perfectly safe.
How hot do those things get? Could that damage your hair?
Wait, could it, Mary?
No! Sir, you are distressing my client. If you have no business here, please leave.
Are there any new fashionable trends I should look into?
No offense, but it looks like you should start by studying the basics.
That's very offensive.
Sir, Annette said no offense. That means you can't get offended.
Who's this gross guy you're talking about?
I'm sorry, does that sound like it's any of your business?
Annette, he might be a customer. Are you a customer, sir?
No.
Then I'm sorry, does that sound like it's any of your business?
I'll leave you to it. Pardon me, ladies. I dropped my wallet.
Klutz.
Not to be a broken record,
What is it now, sir?
there's an awful lot of hair on the floor. Is the hairdryer supposed to do that?
That's my hair! My beautiful hair is ruined!
Annette, I'm so sorry. This is
Well, that went better than the prank with the barber. There's a nearly empty bottle of nail polish here. She probably won't miss it. There are plenty of full ones. Not too shabby. Looks real enough to me, anyway. If you aren't the one loading the dice, they're probably loaded against you.
Cashing in or out?
Cashing out.
Very well. If I could have your chips.
My chips. I think I have them in my pocket here somewhere.
I breathlessly await your producing them, sir.
I'm ready to cash out. Here are my chips. I mean, chip. Singular.
One moment. Your pittance, sir. Have a nice evening.
Looks like someone left their gloves behind. It's probably for heating. Ah yes, the traditional recipe for rubber gloves. 1 part rubber, 1 part gloves. Ow! These hair dryers really are dangerous. I'm afraid to touch them with my bare hands. There's a lot of power running through there. What the?
Careful there, floor's a little slippery.
Slippery? This place is completely flooded. If I slip, I might drown.
Now that'd be something to see. Looking for a clock? A watch? Anything in between?
Why is it so dark in here?
Fuse is blue. Happens every time it rains.
Every time? Isn't that dangerous?
Oh, just inconvenient. Those were my last couple good ones. Can't pick up any replacements till tomorrow.
Everything's drenched in here. How'd this happen?
It's been raining, silly.
We're inside, silly.
I have a gigantic leak in my roof that I haven't bothered to fix in years, silly.
Well, that clears things up. Silly. You made all these, huh?
Every one. Well, except the watch I'm wearing. Keeps me humble.
They're such different sizes. Doesn't that make it tricky?
Not really. Clock's just a circle that tells time. What's it matter how big the circle is?
I guess you're the expert. Every clock in this place shows a different time.
Well, of course they do. How else are customers gonna know that my clocks can handle every possible minute of every possible hour? You want them to stand around and wait all day?
I, guess not. A compass is kind of like a clock, right? Think you could fix up this one?
Compass? That ain't even close to a clock. Oh, when you look at the time, it's 1/4 south. See how stupid that sounds?
Still, I feel like a lot of the precision that goes into watch repair would...
Would nothing. My tools are calibrated for clockwork. End of story.
What if I bring you some working fuses? Would you fix my compass then?
Most days, I'd sooner keel over than even entertain the thought. But I do enjoy seeing more than 3 feet in front of my face. Fine. You get me fuses, I'll make an exception. One exception. Hurry back!
They're completely shot. No wonder the lights are out in there. Why swap out my perfectly good fuses for dead ones? I don't see the point. I've got replacement fuses here.
Aren't you a resourceful one? I'll swap them out first thing tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I kinda need this compass fixed now.
You can't rush these things, kid. You want it done right, you gotta wait.
I've got replacement fuses here.
Aren't you a resourceful one? I'll swap...
Tomorrow?
You can't...
This should be a quick fix. Whoa! Hey, are you all right in there? The fuse is blue immediately. No, no! You old idiot! Why didn't you fix your damn roof? Why didn't you... Why didn't I... am not killing these people. I am not a murderer. Something is causing all of these people to die, and I swear it isn't me. But whatever it is, it has me on the same list. My only hope is that Lena knows what's happening and how to stop it. I have to find her. Fast. A variety of attractive wrist and pocket watches. They're all set to different times. Come to think of it, what time is it? They're all set to different... He's burned to a crisp. It's still smoldering. That was simple enough. The dial's rotating freely now.
You're back. Ready for a ride?
All right, I'll do the tour.
Great. Now, as to the small matter of payment.
I've got the money. Let's ride.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's inhale some fumes.
You think we can avoid at least some of the bumps?
You call those bumps? I'll show you bumps. Buckle up, amigo.
Buckle what up? There's no...
Here we are, Ventana Peak. Go check out the top.
You'll wait for me here, right?
You bet. I got loads of deep inward reflection to catch up on.
How did this hole get here? Let's see. If the lighthouse is southeast of here at a bearing of 140 degrees, then I must be northwest of the lighthouse at the opposite bearing. So... There's a small hole in the ground here. It fits perfectly. That's one powerful light. I wonder if that actually did anything. It's covered in intricate designs, probably just decorative. That's a hefty cube. Maybe the heftiest cube. What on earth? These stones look like giant buttons, but what do they do? Haven't I seen those symbols somewhere before? Here we go. Open sesame. The light doesn't even reach the bottom, if there is a bottom. More depictions of their gods? The way the light's hitting this makes me think it's a sundial. But it's not like any sundial I've seen before. How do you tell time with this? There's no way I'm forcing that padlock open. Whoa, look at the size of this place. It could probably fit everybody in the whole town. It stopped.
The ambient ticking of a clock was unnerving to our guests.
Yes, I'm sure it was the clock that was doing that. The sanatorium's founder, maybe?
It is. And shortly after construction finished, also its first patient.
That's disquieting.
Welcome to Whitestone. May I help you?
Is this a hospital?
Technically, it's a psychiatric sanatorium.
Seems big for such a small town.
We treat referrals from all over. Something about thin mountain air, promoting cognitive wellness.
Have to admit I'm skeptical.
You and me both. Sorry, what was it you needed again?
No offense, but this place is creeping me out a smidge.
Just a smidge?
How do you stand to work here?
The pay's decent because nobody else wants to do it. Plus it's quiet. Well, most of the time.
Who's in charge here? Can I talk to them?
Are you a member of the press?
Relax.
The answer is no either way.
Then why did you ask?
Different flavors of no.
I believe there's a patient here I need to talk to.
You believe?
No, I know there's a patient.
What's the name?
Lena.
What is your relationship to the patient?
Family friend.
And what is the patient's visitor code?
Visitor code?
All patients have an associated visitor code that's provided by their referring physician.
Oh, right. Who's that again?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not authorized to disclose sensitive medical information.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have Lena's visitor code. I'd like to see her now.
I'm ready for the code when you are.
8 2 9 3.
Code verified. Your visit is approved.
Yes! I mean, thank you.
May I have a name for the log?
A name? Yes, of course. Faulkner. Bill Faulkner.
You're welcome to head upstairs, Mr. Faulkner. The attending nurse will direct you to the patient.
Visitor or new patient?
Visitor. Definitely visitor.
Patient name?
Lena.
Follow. If separated, find Neverland.
If separated, why would we get separate? Damn it. Hello? Large man? Great. What did he say? Find Neverland? I think that's a reference to Peter Pan, which I haven't read. Perfect. Nothing in there. must have interrupted a group session.
Finally.
You know, you could have just waited for me.
You could have walked faster. Lena is inside. No funny business.
Uh-huh. Thanks so much. Lena,
Harvey, you're here.
I have too many questions for you.
I imagine you must. First, could you open the window for some fresh air? I'd do it myself, but...
Oh, yes, of course.
Where would you like to start?
You recognized me. You know my name. How?
You recognized me, didn't you?
That's because
You saw me in a vision.
Yes! That doesn't sound completely insane?
They don't like that word around here.
Right.
Suffice to say, I've had a few visions of my own.
In my visions, I saw dark creatures. An enormous claw burst into Oswaldo's house and snatched him away. Later, in your house, cloaked figures were hovering around you, torturing you.
Yes, your visions were echoes of past events, of intrusions by beings known as the Shadows.
Shadows? Oswaldo was mumbling about shadows in my vision. We aren't talking about regular old shadows here, are we?
No.
Then what are we talking about?
Forces of fate.
Fate? The shadows are fate?
No. The Shadows manipulate fate, manipulate us to their liking.
How do they do that? Why do they do that? And besides, who says fate even exists for them to influence?
Many say that fate exists. Do you, Harvey?
I believe it exists, sure, but that doesn't mean I'm right.
That's impressively reasonable of you.
You said the shadows influence fate. How do they do that?
Mostly through a pawn, an individual who carries out their will, knowingly or otherwise.
Like who?
Who do you think?
I'm scared to even say it, but is it me?
Yes, Harvey, it's you.
You're serious? The shadows are manipulating me? But I don't feel manipulated.
No. Leading up to your arrival here, nothing has felt different.
Well, I've been having this one recurring nightmare. My head and other people's heads mounted on a wall.
What other people?
At first, I couldn't make out the other faces, but then I watched 3 of them die.
In the dream?
No.
You didn't mean to kill those people, Harvey.
I didn't kill them at all. They were accidents. Terrible accidents.
Accidents that the Shadows used you to cause. Whether you accept it or not, Harvey, you are a walking agent of death.
If the Shadows are really behind this, we have to stop them. They aren't done. And according to my dream, they'll kill me too after the others are dead.
I know, Harvey, but stopping them seems impossible.
What do you mean, impossible? You've been studying them, haven't you?
Yes, and that's how I know this has all happened before, and it will happen again.
What's happened before? You mean the Shadows have manipulated other people?
No. I mean the Shadows have manipulated you, forced you to end the lives of specific people in this town. Details might change each time, but they're just details. The shadows make sure it all happens, one way or another.
How are you holding up, Lena? I couldn't last 30 minutes in this place.
It could be worse. The sheriff insisted they put me in one of the nice rooms. He's always looked out for me for some reason.
Why did the sheriff put you here in the first place?
I don't blame him, or Dr. Morgan for that matter. Given the condition my house was in, the condition I was in, putting me in here must have felt like their only option. They think they're protecting me from myself.
How do you know Oswaldo?
We were in a book club together. Sometimes we'd write stories and share them with each other.
Huh, funny you should mention that.
You're a writer too.
Trying to be. Not much luck with the publisher so far.
I have a feeling you'll make a name for yourself.
I need a minute to clear my head.
Take your time. I'll be here. Ready to continue?
I don't understand how what you're saying is possible, but I do know that I'm not going to be responsible for any more people dying. Please, if you have any idea how I can stop this, tell me.
Apart from myself and Oswaldo, there is one other person who investigates the shadows.
Who?
Vincent. He owns the factory by my house. He's always been obsessed with fate and free will, with good reason, it turns out. A few days ago, I received a message from Vincent. He said he was nearing some kind of breakthrough. I didn't get a chance to find out what he meant. Later that same day, the sheriff collected me.
I'll find Vincent. Should I check his factory first?
Yes. He hardly ever leaves. Take my necklace.
Why?
There's a key on it for the factory basement. Harvey, you need to be careful. Vincent thinks there are more people in this town who know about the shadows. People who worship them, hoping to influence their own destiny. If they find out what you're up to, they'll do whatever it takes to stop you.
I still have to try, right? Feels like I don't have much of a choice.
That's fate for you.
Thank you, Lena. I'm going to fix all of this.
I'd hoped you wouldn't come, Harvey. I wanted to be wrong so badly.
Wrong about what?
About the shadows. About you. About how it all ends.
We don't know how it ends, Lena. Not yet.
We don't know how it ends for you. The shadows have a schedule to keep, Harvey. If they don't see what they expect, they'll know something's wrong, and they'll intervene. Harvey, your next victim needs to die.
My next victim? I don't even know who that is.
I do.
What?
Good luck, Harvey.
Lena, wait! No! Why, Lena? You didn't have to do that. We could have changed things. I could have found Vincent. I could have... The only head left on that wall is mine. Am I officially expendable? I have to find Vincent. He's the only lead I have left. But first, I need to get out of here before that brick wall of a nurse sees what happened. There's no way I'm forcing that padlock open. It doesn't fit this lock. Lena said it was for the factory basement. It's locked tight. Hello? Vincent? That switch better turn the lights on, because I can't see anything else down here. What the hell kind of factory is this? It grew right through the concrete floor. Look at this junk. Did Vincent build it all? So many detached arms and legs. All metal, thankfully. Wonder if anything in here is in decent condition. Ugh. This looks like it's intact. Deeply upsetting, but intact. Why build a mechanical baby? Oh! Well, that was in one piece. I think I see another whole one in there. I think I need to put something in the slot for this machine to do anything. I think I need to put something in... There are 4 buttons here. Forward, backward, wait, and deploy. Those must be the instructions I can add to a punch card. The first 3 are simple enough, but deploy? Deploy what? They're stuck in position. Hopefully the correct position. Nothing happened. Maybe I need to enter a complete set of instructions first. There we go. 1 punched punch card. For whatever that's worth. Looks like an obstacle course from hell. Who's supposed to go through it? Vincent, don't forget to move the air intake so it stops getting clogged with debris. Best, Vincent. That seems pointless. Well, that explains the pile of those downstairs. Looks like an I could crawl across it if it weren't covered in blades and spikes. There's no getting...